ambulances and the men and women who were coming to the rescue of the people they had just bombed. And so we did. I raised that flag on the 10th of January, and all around this country, and particularly in the north, and particularly amongst the Muslims, and particularly amongst the young Muslims, people in their thousands answered that call. A peaceful intifada broke out across the land. Meetings of thousands. In Bolton at 5 o'clock in the afternoon, I spoke to 1,600 people, and then went to Manchester at 7:30 and spoke to another 750. All over the country, people were meeting, collecting, doing everything they could to get trucks, vans, drivers, and the material to put on board. And just 4 weeks later, on the 14th of February, we set out from Hyde Park. It was a very long and difficult journey, as I promised that it would be, because we had to go the long way. We had to go the long way, and the journey had to be a long, slow-running fuse. Otherwise, our chances of being able to cross through the Egyptian border were minimal, as so many people had found to their cost before. I knew that we had to build up a momentum of public opinion in the Arab world, the Muslim world, the world in general, so that by the time we reached Gaza, no power would try to stop us. And because it was the slow way, the long way, because we had 300 people, 110 vehicles, many of them, if you looked at them, you wouldn't think they'd get to Cleckheaton, never mind to Cairo. We had drivers, I see some of them here, I'm sure I've never driven before. At least that's how it looked to me. Present company accepted. This young star here at the front was one of the great officer class that emerged in the course of such a journey. That's what happens. Officers, leaders emerge. Others deserve the firing squad. I had to phone Ismail several times on the journey to ask for advice, whether I was permitted to put people in front of the firing squad or not. But in the end, you know, what had been a fractious group of hundreds of people of different backgrounds, different colours, different faiths, different sects within faiths, we came together as one hand, and the place, thank you, brother, that we did it was the place where we were under the maximum pressure. When we reached Egypt, I don't want to say too much because we have to go through it again and again and again. But when we reached Al Arish, and the biggest crisis that called for all our ingenuity, all our courage, all our negotiating skills, in the middle of the night, with the lights off, with stones landing on our heads, with people trying to take our goods, with people painting slogans on our vehicles, we came together as one hand to repel all invaders, to stand up to all who would take from us that which we had carried thousands and thousands of miles. I had to blow my guns on stage and tell 30, I want these men to set fire to their vehicles and everything in it right now here in front of the television cameras. I will lead this convoy all the way back through your country to the previous country if you don't back down and agree to our just demands, which was simple. We wanted to reach Palestine with that which we had collected for the Palestinian people. And That brings me to a point I must make all over again before I move on to where we go next. I say it to those who may be contemplating coming with us on the next one. I said it before the last one. Maybe some people thought I didn't mean it, or that they could defy me anyway. Our convoys are not for the purpose of spreading the Islamic revolution through the North African hinterland. Our convoys are not for the purpose of a socialist revolution or a nationalist revolution, or to confront the governments of any state or any country through which we travel. I'm up for many of these things on other occasions, but our task is one: to come to the relief of the Palestinian people. That's our task. And if that means, last night, and maybe it'll happen again tonight, last night I had a deputation come to me to condemn me for describing Colonel Gaddafi as brother when we were in Libya, with 300 people and 110 vehicles, because the Libyan leader is a dictator. Well, they're all dictators, every one of them. Virtually everyone from the Atlantic to the Gulf. In fact, virtually every leader in the whole of the Muslim world is a dictator. But some are worse than others. And the Libyan people were the only people that made us really welcome on that convoy. And the Libyan government was the only one that lived up to its rhetoric. Gave us our petrol free, our food free, our beds free. Asked how many lorries we had. When told we had 110, they doubled it to 220. If we'd had 200, they'd have doubled it to 400. That's the kind of solidarity I'm interested in. Not words, action. So I'm cross about that from last night. And if these people are here again tonight, be warned, I'm even angrier tonight than I was last night, having slept on it. You try and overthrow Gaddafi. Maybe I'll even help you. But not on a convoy to Palestine. Because my duty was to get the convoy to Palestine and nothing else. And the next convoy will be leaving the United States on the 4th of July. When else? On Independence Day. And I give notice now to His Excellency, President Hosni Mubarak, the President of Egypt, that I'm coming on the 4th of July with 1,000 Americans, with $10 million. And we intend to drive 500 trucks flying the American flag through the border at Rafah. We come in peace, but we will not be stopped. We come in peace, but we will not be stopped. And then in England, on the 4th of October, we'll leave another British convoy, another Viva Palestina convoy for Gaza. This time it's no more Mr. Nice Guy. We're going to vet the driving skills. In fact, you're going to have to do the advanced driving course if you want to join us. But seriously, we want you now to be collecting the money, the vehicles, the drivers. This time we'll go the fast way. This time we'll go through Europe, Turkey, Syria, Jordan, Egypt, Gaza. If that sounds interesting to you, then start planning it now. Block off your diary for 2-3 weeks in October. Discuss with each other how you can get us vehicles, how you can fill them, how you can drive them. It will be a life-changing experience. As my brothers that I see in the audience, the great heroes and legends of that first convoy, whose names will never be forgotten.